Hi gang, and welcome back to Dr. Fitzgerald's Grammar Nuts and Bolts. Today is issue number 8, Dangling Modifiers and Misplaced Modifiers. Let's get started. So first off, what is a modifier? Well, a modifier is anything that changes, clarifies, or limits a particular word in a sentence to add extra emphasis or detail about that word. The word modifier itself is kind of a catch-all term. Adjectives and adverbs, those are single word modifiers. Phrases can be modifiers too. Don't get too caught up in the definition here. You'll see in practice what the issue is. So there are two basic types of modification errors. There's dangling modifiers and misplaced modifiers. What's the difference? Well, dangling modifiers don't modify anything at all. There's a modifier in a sentence, but there's nothing it could be modifying. Misplaced modifiers modify something, but they are in the wrong place in the sentence to do so effectively. So let's start with dangling modifiers. Remember, dangling modifiers don't modify anything. Take a look. While driving to the veterinarian, my cat threw up. Do you see anything wrong with this sentence? Stare at it for a little bit. Do you see it? Okay, here's the problem. Cats can't drive. What's missing in the sentence? Anybody eligible for a driver's license. So we have a modifier while driving to the veterinarian, but unless it's modifying cat, it's not modifying anything. It's a dangling modifier. So how do we fix it? Well, we have two choices. We could put the noun being modified in the right place in the sentence. In this case, we need to add a driver. Let's say it's I. And where should it go? Right after the comma. While driving to the veterinarian, I saw my cat throw up. Now we have the driver in the sentence, and the modifier while driving to the veterinarian is modifying the driver, I. Okay, let's go back to the original and see the other way of fixing a dangling modifier. What else can we do? We can put the noun being modified into the modifier itself. So, while I was driving to the veterinarian, my cat threw up. I was doing one thing, my cat was doing another. Now we have a driver, we don't have a dangling modifier. But please note, you can't fix a dangling modifier simply by rearranging the words. It's a dangling modifier because something's missing, the thing being modified. So simply rearranging the words isn't going to fix it. So to go back to that sentence, while driving to the veterinarian, my cat threw up, you can't fix it by simply moving my cat threw up, say, to the front of the sentence. My cat threw up while driving to the veterinarian. We still don't have a driver, except the cat. Okay, that's dangling modifiers. Let's talk about misplaced modifiers. Like I said, misplaced modifiers do modify something, but they're not in a good place in the sentence to do so effectively. Let's take a look. I saw a man on a horse smoking a cigarette. Do you see the problem? Take a few moments. I saw a man on a horse smoking a cigarette. Well, yes, horses don't smoke. So the word smoking a cigarette is a modifier. It should be modifying the man, but unfortunately it's standing next to the horse. So we actually have the noun phrase, a horse smoking a cigarette, built into the sentence. So how do we fix this one? Well, unlike a dangling modifier, sometimes in misplaced modifiers we can fix it by simply moving the words so that the modifier is standing next to the thing being modified. I saw a man smoking a cigarette on a horse. That's certainly better. I'm not wild about the phrase, a cigarette on a horse. That sounds painful to the horse. So how about if we said, I saw a man on horseback smoking a cigarette. Now we don't really have a horse, we just have a man on horseback. I saw a man on horseback smoking a cigarette. It's got to be the man smoking the cigarette. Please note, the most commonly misplaced modifier is the word only. It seems a simple, very common word, but once you're onto it, you'll recognize that about half the time you hear it, people are putting the word only in the wrong place. So let's say you get a Valentine's Day card from a special someone, and the card says, I only love you. Now you might read this as, you are the only one I love. But is that what it really says? No, it says, I only love you. I don't like you, I don't respect you, I only love you. And taken to its extreme, this might be saying, love is the only verb I do. I don't eat, I don't drink, I don't bathe, I only love you. If this person is really trying to say, you are the only one I love, he or she could say it that way, or I love only you, or I love you only, in which case only is standing next to you. There's not a verb, love, blocking only from you. So it's clear that only you are the one I love. But you probably wouldn't want to put it here, would you? Only I love you. That's mean. Why would you put that on a Valentine's Day card? Okay, watch out for almost and nearly too. How about this one? I almost ate an entire pizza. Now, if somebody said that to you, that person might be trying to say, I ate a lot of pizza, almost an entire pizza, all but, say, one slice. But is it really saying that? What's the almost? The almost is an entire pizza, not I almost ate. I can say I almost ate an entire pizza and eat no pizza at all. I was perfectly prepared to sit down and eat an entire pizza. But then the dog grabbed it and ran off with it. So I almost ate an entire pizza, but I ended up eating no pizza. If you mean I ate a lot of pizza, perhaps all but one slice, then you probably should say I ate almost an entire pizza. Okay, take a look at this one. I nearly ran 10 miles today. Did you nearly run, or did you run nearly 10 miles today? You could say, I nearly ran 10 miles today, and you didn't run at all. I was about to, but I changed my mind. If you were trying to say, I ran a lot today, close to 10 miles, then you probably should say, I ran nearly 10 miles today. Okay, that's it for dangling modifiers and misplaced modifiers. As always, thank you for watching. Bye now.